Hello darlings, welcome back to my channel. My name is Coralie and today I'm actually here to deliver finally a makeup video. Can you believe? Can you believe I'm here to deliver makeup content? So I've been thinking about makeup in the last few days, in the last few months even, and what are the projections for spring trends, summer trends, etc. So what I'm going to be touching on today is products, trendy makeup products that I do recommend that you purchase if you want to buy into these trends. I want to preface that a lot of the links in the description box down below are going to be affiliate links. So the disclaimer is if you click on those links and actually purchase the item, I get a commission, okay? So don't be surprised, girl. Don't be surprised. This is how all the YouTubers do it. I have 4 categories of products to show you today, and I'm gonna really give you the best products from the ones that I've tried and that I've really appreciated. So shall we, darling? We're going to start with my favorite because I am very much restless. Probably the most coherent with the situation in the world right now. Depending on where you live, masks are mandatory, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining, it's a good thing, but that means people are mainly going to see your eyes because, listen, I'm going to present to you some pastel palettes, which is kind of a theme. We've seen a lot of pastel makeup, pastel eyeshadows especially. I mean, I'm not different. I am a slave to the pastel. You guys know this. I've been really into pastel since last year. So I really feel like we're stepping into pastel when we step into spring, and everyone loves pastel. I have 2 palettes to recommend you. One at a cheaper price and one at a more expensive price. I tried having a little bit of balance. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's hard, but you know, I'm trying. The first palette I would recommend is the Beauty Bay Pastels palette. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me use this palette a bunch of times, and even on YouTube, I've used it quite a few times. And so this palette looks like this. Now, this is a rainbow pastel palette. So if you want every pastel matte possibly available out there, this is the palette you're gonna want to get. What I love about this palette is that I do have other pastels palette in my collection, but a lot of them have the tendency to be really dusty and ashy. Now, this palette is dusty, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's quite a lot of kickback when you press into the shadows. Personally, kickback does not bother me. I do my eyeshadow before my foundation, so fallout has never really been a huge issue for me. But what I like is that this looks good on a variety of skin tone. Now, granted, sometimes you do have to use a lighter base for them to show up, but they're very pretty, and I think this is really cheap actually. Like this is now more than like $15 Canadian, and I definitely recommend this palette if you want to get into colorful pastels. This is a more recent acquisition, but I love Artist Couture's shadow formula. I love pretty much any of the formulas of any product that they have. This is the Ethereal Bloom by Artist Couture palette. This is what the palette looks like. This palette, I would say, is definitely for people that are looking to achieve a full pastel look but only own one palette. What's really good about this is that all the shades in it have a lot of depth. Like, they are way more pungent and way richer than the Beauty Bay's Pastels palette, and it has quite a bit of variety. You have a few like deeper shades right here, you have this beautiful neutral transition shade, and you have also shimmers. Now, we know that shimmers have a tendency to be easier to work with, and they also kind of show up on whatever skin tone because they're rich, pigmented, and foil-like. This palette is absolutely amazing. It is the one I'm wearing on my eyes today, and I really enjoyed the mattes blend wonderfully. The shimmers are super reflective, as you can see, and this is really something I'm a huge fan of. Was it a necessary buy for me? Maybe not, because I own a lot of makeup already, but I would definitely say if you want to get into that trend and have a really high quality palette, I would say go with this one. I would also go with this one if you don't plan on doing a bunch of colorful looks, because the colors that are in there are quite approachable. You have purple, you have pinks, you have a little bit of like a teal, which is a little more out there, a little more extra. But as you can see, the purple doesn't even look like too much. It doesn't look too intense. And so I would recommend this for people who are not really too much into color but want to dabble into it. Continuing with the theme of eyes, I'm gonna go with liquid liners. That does not include liquid pen liners or liquid liners that you twist off. This is purely liners that you'd either press into a little like palette or that you activate using water. These are liners that you're gonna use with your own liner brushes. The reason why is because these have been incredibly popular in the latest year and a half, I would say, and graphic liner has really been on a huge rise. If you follow me on this channel, Listen, you've seen me use like all of these. All of these I've used on my Instagram. I've used every single one of these, and I actually need to get more. Metallic finishes, all that, but listen. The reason why I'm pulling out the pastels is because we already talked about pastels being really, really big right now, but a bunch of brands have them. I'm actually going to put a few names on the screen because not only Dulzura Cosmetics have them, but a lot. What I love about these is that they don't really crack. Now, the thing that's going to happen is that sometimes your eyeshadow will transfer onto it because this is water activated. So it doesn't need a lot of push to kind of transfer your eyeshadow. But for example, probably by the end of the night, this here is going to be a little more purplish than teal because shadow transfers onto these liners easily. Now, if you're only going to wear them as graphic liner, no eyeshadow, you'll have absolutely no issue. And I love these. Other product I want to talk about is the Danessa Myricks Color Fix. This one is the black one, and the black one probably is not the most appropriate for, you know, spring, but it's the concept of these. They're basically like a tube, and you press it onto your hand and then you use the product. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've used one of these before, but they weren't mine, so I gave it back to the person who lent them to me, and I love this. When you use this, it dries completely matte. It's super, super long lasting. It allows you to have a really precise application. And the reason why I'm bringing up these is because the Danessa Myricks is a black owned brand and it's now available on Sephora. And I personally have been following Danessa Myricks for probably 3 years-ish, and she is an amazing makeup artist and photographer. She just kills everything that she does. Oh my god, this grammar bitch.
Cut the cameras. Dead ass.
She has a bunch of colors in this, metallic finishes, glossy finishes, shimmer finishes, and so you can get all of her shades on her website, but there's a bunch of them available on Sephora. And there's an orange one. The thing is, when I went to order, I wanted to get the black one and the orange one, but the orange one sold out. So it's now in my cart, but I'm broke, so we're gonna have to wait. Anyways, the latest brow trends are the complete opposite of what existed when I started getting into makeup, which I think is really funny, but it's also something that makes me feel like we've all grown as a beauty community, as makeup in general. And we've definitely translated from the Instagram block brow to like the fluffy brow. Now, I personally don't think I do like fluffy brow that well. I think I just do brows that look like put together. Some of my favorite products for brows lately have been the NYX Brow Glue, which if you can get this, you might be a wizard or something, because this is sold out everywhere. Like when I got my hand on one, I was like, should I just like not use it too much? This is amazing, especially if you have a lot of brow hairs like me. I happen to have quite a bit of brow hairs. The only thing about my brows is that I don't have a shape naturally, but I have a really immense amount of hair. But there's areas right here and right like here where I have no hair. And so for those areas that have no hair, the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen is absolutely incredible. I wasn't going to swatch anything because I don't want my hands to be dirty, but I did this big swatch so you could see. Today I'm actually trying a new brow pencil, so my brows are a little more intense than they usually are. The thing is, when you use this, I will literally create like little brow hairs, brow strokes, and it does take a little more time, but it looks almost like a good microblading. And then when you top it off with this brow glue, it makes everything look so fluffy and pretty and just put together. These two products have been big favorites of mine, and I definitely recommend them to anyone. This one you probably will find it in stock, but good luck with this one, babes. Now the final category. As you're going to see, I touched eyes, I touched brows. Now we're going to touch face, but we're not going to touch lips. The reason why I'm not talking about lip products is because I personally happen to live in a country and in a place where masks are mandatory. I think it's going to be mandatory for quite a few more months. So lips is not something that people are gonna see a lot of. It's all in the eyes, but it's also a little bit in the face. Cream blush has been so huge lately. It's been huge for like, I would say the past year maybe. It's been huge for like the past year, but it's even more intensified. Every single brand is coming out with their liquid, cream, or serum blush. They're all coming for the girls. Everyone's coming. This is the Rare Beauty blush Enjoy. This is their liquid blush. Now this is a very potent product. I personally don't mind it. I love that it's potent, and as you can see, I still got like a really soft blush out of it. You need to wipe the applicator and you need to do one dot, blend it out, and maybe a second dot and blend it it out. I'm being very, very serious. This is really, really potent, which I love because it literally means that it has enough depth to work on darker skin tones, which is something that I feel like a lot of cream blushes lack, is the depth and the colors to be rich enough so that any skin tone can wear them. This is kind of like a Canada exclusive, so I'm really sorry if you're from anywhere but not Canada and you see this video, but this is the Quo Featherweight Cream Blush. This is from Shoppers Drug Mart. So Quo is a Shoppers Drug Mart brand, so you're only gonna find it there. Sorry again. What I like about this is super cheap. It's like what, $10 maybe? And this is in the shade Halo, and these blend really well, but they do not take off your foundation. The Rare Beauty one didn't do that either. So obviously when you use these cream blushes, I would suggest that you put the cream before you set your face. That's how it's gonna blend best and it's gonna look better, right? It blends out easily. They have quite a few shades, but the pigment is not as rich and intense as the Rare Beauty one. If you've seen my latest tutorial where I did the Pastel Butterfly Spring Makeup, I used this. This is the Patrick Ta Double Take Creme and Powder Blush in the shade She's That Girl. Now, I just told you that you have to apply the cream before you set your foundation. It is not true with this duo. With this duo, what is recommended by Patrick Ta himself is that you apply the powder blush, and then on top of the powder blush, you apply the cream blush. And the effect that that gives you is kind of just like a really glowy glass skin effect. It gives you like a really smooth finish, a rich finish with so much punch, so much like shine, and just, it's wonderful. This is a wonderful product. Maybe don't go in too heavy with the cream on the nose because it's a really emollient cream. This is by far one of my favorite blushes of all time. The one kind of ick I have with it is that I don't know how it would work on darker skin tones, and I always want to be mindful of that. So I would probably need to test it on my friend when this situation resolves, but like not now. This is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, feel free to leave in the comment section down below other video suggestions or things you'd like to see me do. I'm very receptive. I'm very open. I would love recommendations because my brain is tired, let me tell you this. If you like me, my personality, or the content that I put right up on this channel, which is beauty related, we're doing vlogs, we're gonna do rating videos, I have quite a few things planned for you, well then feel free to totally subscribe. We love newcomers, we love people who make themselves known, so you know, drop a comment. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching this video again, and I will see you in my next video.